man, guide over us, or Jah, protect over us, or Jah. It's not easy out there playing right here at Reggae Iration. Msanii anajita Ras Zachary, so real right here at Reggae Iration. If you're joining us right now, this is the Reggae Iration show. Any request for the artist, any song you want us to play from the artist, any question you want us to ask the artist, just send it in at SHEM, at
DJ SWEETKAY,
at Reggae Iration, and at KUTV. Greetings, Ras Zachary. Greetings.
Blessings, and the whole Reggae Iration family.
Yes, man. Yes, man. I appreciate first for giving us this opportunity and this time, and also for joining us. I know, is it morning there?
Yeah. Drinking my tea.
All right. I see. So we were just playing a couple of your tunes here. First, I would request maybe you could turn your phone on a landscape mode so that we can see you. You can see the surrounding. You can turn the phone on a landscape mode. Just turn the phone on a landscape mode.
Oh, that one. Let me get that.
Just turn it, so that it can be on a landscape mode. All right.
No.
All right, no worries, Rasta, no worries. So first of all, we've just played a couple of your tunes. We've played Melanin. This tune you released, I think, 3 years ago. We've played your track featuring Loot and Fire. This was a fire track. It was a couple of years ago. And also we've played No Easy. So first of all, talk to me about No Easy, because it's an inspirational track. Give me the inspiration behind this track.
Well, not easy. So it's a track of encouragement.
Right.
Motivation.
Right.
No idea to, must I.
All right.
We shall prevail,
Okay.
So it's just what instills strength and courage in a day.
All right. So, talking about that, we've also you just released a new track, Ungrateful, and there's a new visuals of the track. I think my DJ will be playing it in a few. But before we talk about the new track and just what you're planning for the future, maybe you could, for those who are seeing Ras Zachary, your Kenyan fans and also the new fans, maybe you could tell us a little bit about who Ras Zachary is.
Well, Ras Zachary, born in Jamaica.
Right.
Grew up in the parish of St. Now I'm living in St. Anne's.
Right.
And nephew of the great Bojo Banton, The music is in the. So I'm from a musical background.
Right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Just a request, you could remove the earphones because it's causing some sound disruptions. Just remove the earphones. Just from the phone, just pull it out from the phone, the earphones, so that the audio can be much better.
All right, yeah, man, I do that.
Yeah, man. Now we are loud and clear. So let's pull it up again. You're just telling me about your journey from St. Andrews?
Yeah. I'm living in St. Anne's now.
St. Anne's.
Yeah, but I grew up in St. Andrew and Kingston. Yeah, man.
All right. Now let's just go back. One of your first album, that is Habsman, and one of the earliest track that you released early in your career around 2006 was When Jah Wrath, and you have stuck to that message of Jah and message of inspiration. Maybe you could tell us about how you started on this track, When Jah Wrath, and how it led you to release the Habsman,
Oh yeah, well, that was the first That was the first roots reggae single to be released by Rastakari and a label called Roots Garden label.
Yes.
In London, UK. And, yeah, this track is about like letting the people, it's like a warning track, you know, letting the people know that it's best to keep it hopeful and positive.
All right.
You know, deal with your brothers justly and your sisters justly, because the wrath of Jah is you know, is very, yeah, you don't want the wrath of Jah to come upon you, so let's do the right. So it's one of them track. It's like a warning track.
How did this shape up your debut album, which was The Hubsman?
Very nicely, because this track was well received, and it was well received throughout Europe. And there was a next track as well featuring my follow-up track to that was featured Luciano.
Yeah.
Luciano, yeah, and that track was do very well for me. And the underground reggae scene,
right,
in both London, France, and all these places. So it kind of gave me the springboard and the courage and the confidence to start work on my debut album, which I did, you know.
Yeah. You had a follow-up of some album like New Horizon, Root Steps, that showcase just your different versatility and how you present your music. How did this album show your musical revolution or revolutionize your music going forward?
Well, yeah, it shows it in a good light, because I mean, album like Root Step, it show a different side of me. Versatility, you know, because that album is a digital you know, call it digital roots,
right?
Digital roots. And it's like we were trying to experiment with a new genre, which is called Root Step, because it's like roots mixed with the digital, you know.
Yes.
So, and it get a very good response as well, you know. A tour that I did some tours with this album, you know, and people really received. There was a track on it called Jaro.
Right.
And yeah, people really love that track. Whenever time I played that track, it's like I have to sing that tune like 4 times, 5 times, you know. So yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And also, just continue. From
then, you know, we give them the New Horizon, which was again a straight roots album, and that was very well received as well.
Right.
You know, and from then we give them the Love Over 8, which was a French production, and released and distributed by Golden Eye in France, and that album also featured a track with Horace Andy,
right, called
One by One. And yeah, the album was very well received as well. I toured the album in 2017, and it was very well received.
Right. How is Love Over Hate in comparison to Root Step and other albums? How different are they in terms of maybe theme, what you're addressing? What is unique?
What's unique about this album? Well, this album was, all the tracks was produced by a French band, you know, and for my first album, most of the track was produced by my label. Most of the tracks, along with some other producers, you know, have 1 and 2 singles on the track, but most of the track was produced by my label. But with Love Over 8, the entire album was produced by Golden Eye and the band in France, you know. So it was a little different, the musical arrangement and everything. If you listen to the album, you know, I have a lot of hands on the album, hands like wind instrument, and the arrangement and the arrangements are like out of this world, man.
Right.
You know? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Very good album.
Right. You've had the opportunity to be able to perform on different fields in Europe, in different events and across Africa. Well, how do you feel about your global impact of your work? The global impact of your work?
The global impact of my work is very well received, you know. Because, you know, the music is positive and clean.
Right.
Everybody can listen to the music, from the elderly down to the little child, the little baby. So, you know, my music can play in anywhere, in any environment. You know, there is always a track for someone to give them encouragement, to uplift them or to motivate them, you know, to inform them about global events or things like this. So, you know, it's always well received, and the global impact is very it's there, it's very evident, you know.
Yeah. All right. Right. Now, you've had the opportunity also to grace different stages. Which one is your most memorable one?
My most memorable stage?
The most memorable event which you feel like, I can do this again, I wish I should do this again, or we could repeat it again, you know?
I've had a few, you know, King. I have a few.
Yeah?
In Europe and thing, my music is well received, like in Poland, Slovakia, Slovenia,
right?
Bulgaria, Macedonia. All these places I've been and performed, and people have shown me like so much love, you know, and performing on stage for the people. They give so much energy, and I give so much back. So,
all right,
you know, these are memorable shows. If I should name one specifically, I had a good time on Reggae Piashka a few years ago in Poland. I was one of the headliner for that festival.
Right.
And that was like crazy, bro. You know, so there's a few, bro. There's a few.
Right. Now, you mentioned some collaboration. You've worked with some of the biggest artists in the game. You mentioned Lutan Fire, Luciano, Horace Andy, and a couple of others. From this collaboration, what are some of the creative process that you've learned or you've acquired in terms of working with these different and unique artists?
What are some of the creative? Well, you know, I learn a lot, you know, from the elders, like even because most of the artists I worked with was before they have been in the game before I. So of course I've learned from them, you know. Especially Horace Andy.
Right.
Yeah, he was showing me a different perspective and writing as well, you know. And yeah, you know, because you know, artists write in many different ways, how they get inspiration and write. Some artists take a paper and a pen and write down. Some artists meditate the lyrics and write the tune in them head. And you know, some artists sing out on all the vibes and thing and the music come to them like that. You know? With Horace and you know, we were in the studio and we was just vibing and we was just picking the lyrics. Picking the lyrics as they come along, you know, writing them down, and that it was a very enjoyable moment working on this collab with Horace Andy, you know, as the elder.
Right.
So of course there's a lot to learn, you know, from these people, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you always hope that your audience can take home when they come at your event?
Just a memorable moment of positive vibes and you know, yeah, positive vibes and something educational, you know. Yeah, some kind of information in the music that will make them life better, because you know music is filled with conscious message,
right?
And it's very informative how we put the lyrics together, you know. in an intentional way to kind of rise the people vibration and them consciousness. So of course, if you come to Rasakari concert, there is a lot to take away. You know, include positive vibes, you know.
Right.
Make you feel good in yourself, you know. Feel motivated as a man, as a woman, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
right. What are your thoughts on the role of reggae music in promoting the social change and unity?
Yeah, the role is very strong, you know, because reggae music play a great influence from the beginning of time, you know. The artists them been doing the music in Jamaica, and it's been spreading all the way across the continent and bringing people together. It's even helping in the liberation of President Mandela, you know.
Yeah.
The music was so influential back then. So yeah, man, reggae music have always been there for this, you know.
Yeah. You know, when you talk about the roots and the reggae, we always have that looking back to the greats, the elders. What do you feel of the current generation in terms of what they're releasing? And is it having the same impact as what would compare to years back? And what should the new generation just do different?
Well, the message remains the same.
Right.
In certain ways, but you know, a lot of it been a little watered down, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of it have been watered down, but you have artists like I myself, Lutan Fire, Horace Andy, and many other artists like Burning Spear, you know, Israel Vibration that never change, you know, that keep the music, keep the potency
right
of the lyrics strong and positive, you know. So yeah, so even though some of the recent artists been kind of watering down the thing, you know, in terms of the lyrical content,
right.
we still have artists that is keeping it strong and firm, you know what I mean?
And from that, you've talked about watering down, and we've also seen a couple of other artists in terms of Africa, Europe, and Asia who are doing reggae, and it's like it's becoming more of a global. Do you think with this growth of different reggae artists who are becoming more authentic from outside Jamaica, do you think this will cause the diminishing of the reggae in terms of its culture and its roots in Jamdown?
No, I don't think it can water down our thing, because you know, Jamaica is the root of the thing, you know.
Yeah.
And we set the trend. And we set the trend.
Yeah, man.
Because we are the creator of the thing, so we set the trend, you know. We take the music where we want to go, so it cannot be watered down by any other nation doing it. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this new track, Ungrateful. What was the inspiration behind it? Is it from your own label?
Yeah, this track was produced by my own label. And the inspiration behind it, you know, is the inspiration, you know, it's just life happening as a man. You know, as a man, you go through phases and things, and go through breakups and all these things, you know, so, you know, it's just one of them tunes there where you've been through an experience, and you just meditate to yourself and say, you know what, it happened to the best of us. Yeah. And it happened to a lot of us, so I'm sure a lot of man can relate, or a lot of woman can relate, so,
yeah.
You know, why not? So this is how this song come about still, you know. It wasn't too devastating, but I really felt like I need to like sing it out, you know.
Yeah. Is it part of any upcoming project, an album, or it's just a single?
Yeah, I'm working on a new album now at the moment, and I have most of the tracks them for it.
Right.
And I'm just like gearing up some features for the album, because already I have like 2 features, and I'm working on like a next 2 feature for the album.
Right.
and it's almost done. Should be out like by next year, February or so. And this album gonna be a stinger. It's gonna be very good, very good. I'm expecting for it to be like my best work.
Okay.
You know, one of my best work, my best album. So it's gonna be a big album, and it's expected to come out in 2024 February.
All right. Is it an your own production or it's an external thing?
It's partly my own production with I think 1 and 2 other producers outside of that. You know?
Right.
Having few tracks on it, but it's mainly my production.
Right. You know, I've noticed you like to run your own things. You know, you like to be in control of in terms of most of your project. How important is this? Maybe for an upcoming who wants to start his own thing, or just a musician who wants to be in the game for a long time. Is it? How would you recommend in terms of someone to run his own show, or opting for a bigger label, or being pushed by just a label? What's your thought on this?
Well, it's always good for every artist to have a label, a production label.
Yeah.
You know, have a studio. As an artist, you need your tools to work with, you know. So, you know, it's good to try and obtain, you know, your own recording label.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to own your publishing, you know, to own your masters as well. You know. Yeah, maybe you wouldn't understand it at the beginning, at the starting, but later, as time goes on, you will get to learn the business more and more, the music business, and realize that having possession of your masters and paid for your, you know, by royalties is very important. You know? Is an extreme of income. You call it passive income. So these income you make them while sleeping. You understand?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you done the work before, and now the money just can come along, you know. But first you have to know that you have to keep possession of these things in order for you to get paid. So it's very important, you know. And it's always good to expand your wing and work with other producers. Nothing wrong with that. But while working for other producers, still remember to do work for yourself, you know.
Right.
It's very important. Yeah.
Right. I think that is really essential, since we've seen most of those elderly artists and also the current ones coming out with complaints about royalties and ownership and some of these stuff. So it's really essential that people realize this, that owning this is also an essential part of it, so that in future you don't cry, you know. Yeah, so that's a really good point. Now, what apart from this album, anything else people should expect in terms of tours? Should we expect to see you in Kenya anytime soon, or in Africa, you know?
Yes, King. You know, I'm contemplating coming to Africa and Kenya. I've been wanting to come to Kenya for some time. So I'm gonna organize a promotional tour for Kenya.
Yeah.
Sometime next year, or early 2015. But I will be coming to Kenya, you know. No promoter in Kenya have reached out to me as yet, but I'm just letting the word out now to let them know that to get themselves together, because Rastakari is coming to Kenya. You know?
Right.
In the near future.
We'll really appreciate that, because, you know, in Africa, Kenya is like the capital city of reggae. So if you touch down here, man, it's a verification for Africa, you know. It's a good verification. It's a good indication. So we really appreciate that, you know.
Yes, King.
All right. Now, maybe your last words to your fans out there, your listeners. You could tell us where people can purchase your music, get to follow you, get in touch with you. Maybe some artists want to link up with you for collaboration, or the fans out there. How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, man, you know, Rastakari is all over the social space, you know. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram.
Right.
Rastakari, that's surreal, underscore music. I'm there, you know.
Right.
And yeah, and you know, you can also send me an email if you wish to, rastakari@gmail.com.
Right.
You know. And yeah, the words to my fans is keep it positive, keep it up, full, you know.
Right.
Never give up, you know.
Right.
Follow your dreams, you know.
Right.
Follow, believe in your vision, you know. Yeah.
Right. So before.
Yeah, even when it looks dark and gloomy, don't give up. There's always hope. From here is not dead. There is always a will, and you will find the way from there is a will.
Man. I appreciate that message. Before we play this ungrateful track, the visuals, this last question, any fun facts people don't know about Ras Zachary?
Any fun facts?
Yeah, apart from being a herbsman.
You know, Ras Zachary is a very good cook, you know.
Yeah.
And also, I'm a yoga practitioner also, you know. Yeah, man. Do them things, man. I'm a holistic person, you know. I love the natural way of life and all these things, you know. So I instill them things there within my life practice. You know, so I'm also a yoga practitioner. You don't know, you do Kundalini and them things there.
Right.
You know. Yeah, man. I do the Kemet yoga. So you don't know. Yeah, man. We went around it like that, man.
Right. I appreciate your time, Ras Zachary. We really appreciate it right here at our studio at KUTV for giving us this opportunity. We're really looking forward for you releasing this new album, sharing it with us right here on the studio. We'll be glad to play it. And also we're looking forward for you to conquering the world with your music and penetrating across all continents. Give thanks, Ras Zachary.
Yes, King, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks to KUTV and you, the host, and the next king that is in the studio.
Right.
Bless upon yourself. It's a pleasure for me to speak to the item, you know. Hopefully, I will see the item live and in person soon because I'm coming to Africa, you know.
Same?
Yeah, man, I'm coming to Africa, man. Yeah, man, we make the music with the continent in our mind, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the continent in our intention. So, you're gonna see us, man.
Bless up, Rasta.
Bless up, King.
Yeah, man.
Reggae Iration to the world.
To the world!
To the